Hi, this is Ayush from CosmoQuick, and here's another one of our video where we talk about how to hire better. And this one is titled How to Evaluate Candidates Effectively and Without Guesswork. Let's get started. So, candidate evaluation is one of the most critical and most inconsistent parts of hiring. Many hiring decisions rely heavily on intuition, impressions, and subjective interpretations. While experience and instinct matter, over reliance on guesswork introduces significant hiring risk. So, you should not be making decisions just based on your subjective ideas, just based on guesswork or intuitions. You need to have your decisions backed by data, backed by actual history, and it should not just come out of an impulse. So, effective evaluation is less about reading personalities and more about identifying signals. So, why candidate evaluation often fails? Evaluation breakdowns typically follow predictable patterns. Resumes are overinterpreted, interviews are treated as truth indicators, confidence is mistaken for competence, communication style is mistaken for capability, surface impressions frequently distort decision quality. The illusion of interview performance. Interviews measure conversation ability, roles measure execution ability. These are not always aligned. Strong speakers may underperform, and reserved candidates may excel. So you never know, and you cannot just judge on the basis of interview. There have to be other variables that have to be taken into consideration before you take a decision, and you cannot just rely on the optics. People can easily alter the optics of how they want to be looked, but you do not have to rely on just that. You have to look beyond the optics. So the principle here is evaluation requires signal clarity. Effective evaluation begins with defining what success in the role actually looks like. Without performance criteria, assessment becomes subjective. That's what I'm adamant about here. Subjectivity produces inconsistency, inconsistency produces hiring errors. So the step one on how to evaluate better is define role success before evaluation. You have to be very clear here, and this is something I have mentioned in all the videos so far, that candidate evaluation cannot be reliable without predefined expectations. You have to clarify what are the core responsibilities, output expectations, required competencies, practical skill indicators, and non-negotiable capabilities. The step number two here is prioritize evidence over claims. Resumes and interviews primarily communicate claims. Evaluation quality improves when decision prioritize evidence. So you have to look for evidence, you have to look for projects, you have to look for proof of work. So relevant experience signals, demonstrated skill indicators, practical work samples, execution history, you have to look for these. The step number three here is separate confidence from capability. You cannot mistake confidence for skill, because it can be faked. Confidence is persuasive, capability is predictive. The two frequently divert. So effective evaluation frameworks deliberately distinguish presentation strength from functional ability. So step number four here is evaluate for role alignment, not perfection. Hiring workflows often slow down due to unrealistic evaluation standards, and searching for flawless candidates is something that takes your time. But you do not have to look for the perfect people. You have to look for people who have the non-negotiable skills, who do the core work, and other stuff can be taught along the way. The step number five here is reduce cognitive bias in evaluation. See, we are humans, and humans are prone to have cognitive biases. There is recency bias, halo effect, similarity bias, charisma bias. You have to look beyond them. So you have to unravel these biases and try to look objectively. So why guesswork dominate hiring decisions? Unstructured evaluation systems rely on subjective interpretations, gut feel, vibe matching, general impressions. So that is why guesswork dominates your hiring decisions, and your hiring is not being backed by true and objective criteria. So what improves evaluation accuracy? Effective hiring systems prioritize clear success criteria, signal focused screening, evidence based assessment, reduced bias exposure, higher alignment before interviews. Evaluation improves uh, when decision inputs improve. So the core insight here is candidate evaluation is not simply a judgment skill. It is a systems design challenge. Signal clarity, bias reduction, relevance filtering. So all this is not uh, cannot be categorized into a judgment skill, but it is a byproduct of how you design your system when hiring. So here's a live demonstration of CosmoQuick where we help you overcome this. When you fill in the form, when you log in and click on hire time and now button, you go on this form, you fill it up, and you connect with the candidates who are pre-vetted and who have passed through objective criterias of them being a good employee. Thank you.